Okay, good morning class. Today is April 26, 2017, and we're going to continue our lessons on career clusters. We have the objective here, and the cluster we're going to go over today is the agricultural, food, and natural resources. I have a PowerPoint here. Let's go back to the first one. PowerPoint here, it just shows the different various clusters, but the first one we're going to do is going to be agricultural, natural, food resources. Okay? Okay. In this career cluster, first of all, we need to understand there are 16 career clusters, okay? And there's over 500 jobs listed under each career cluster. With agriculture, food, and natural resources, it's things that we do every day. The cluster involves, shows up here, production, processing, marketing, financial, and science leaders. Careers in this jobs deal with things that's outdoors. Farming, deal with farming. How many like fruits? Okay, fruits is a part of farming. Most oranges come from California. Even though that cluster is involved with oranges, it has to do with farming. Okay, because farming has to do with providing food resources, testing the food, growing the food. It also has to do with natural resources like your water. Make sure your water is safe. Bees that make honey, the hives, is also a part of the agriculture cluster. We all know that we have Pilgrim processing plant, right? The food that goes through Pilgrim Pride is a part of the agriculture. Okay, any food, anything we eat, we wear, drive, everything has to be inspected. Okay, and there's a agency called United States Department of Agriculture. They have inspectors in every town where there's a processing place. Like we have one here in Mount Pleasant with Pilgrims. They have to process the chicken. They have to inspect the chickens, make sure everything is safe to come out. And if anything happens, say you find a hair on a piece of chicken, or chicken has come through it's not healthy, then they have to, the inspectors for the USDA have to shut down the Pilgrim plant to find the problem, whatever the problem is with the chicken, because it could have been chicken going past, and make sure that nobody's sick from it. So all that is involved in the food and agriculture, food, and natural resources. Okay, with this cluster, it shows that we have a need for science and technicians in this cluster. This cluster has what we call pathways. And pathways are different ways to get to a place. Like you may live on 10th Street, but you can come on 9th Street to get to your house, 8th Street to get to your house. So different ways to get to it. Okay, and with this agriculture, food, and natural resources, there are 8 pathways to get to it. Okay, like so one of them is the animal system, which means you have to be able to be involved with animals, veterinarians, caring for animals. Biotechnology, a lot of people think bio is dealing with blood and health science, and it is, but with this here, it's people that test the soil to make sure that the soil is healthy for the trees to grow, to make sure the fruit is healthy. It is also bio to make sure that we test chemicals in the water where the fish swim, for the fish to be healthy. When we catch the fish, it don't make us sick. Okay, so it's like the root of everything that grows up. You have the plant system, which makes sure that, like I said, the oranges are healthy, but not even that, just the corn that you grow or the wheat that you grow for your bread. Okay, all that goes up under food and natural resources agriculture. Careers associated with this cluster would be, like I said, USDA inspectors, ranchers, farmers, veterinarians, irrigation specialists. Do y'all know where the Tides County Agriculture Building is? No. Okay, it is. It's on industrial. They have what they call a greenhouse there, and the greenhouse is where they grow plants. It's a huge. How many of you have ever seen a greenhouse?
Isn't there one over there, like right over there?
We have one.
Yes,
Okay.
we have one. Yeah, over here. But the one in ag is much bigger. What do they grow over here in this one?
Vegetables, flowers.
Well, okay, so the vegetables, can y'all eat the vegetables? Do they grow something y'all can eat?
Yes, they're selling some right now, actually.
What are they selling?
Squash, tomatoes.
Okay.
They sent to teachers, actually.
Okay, and all that is clustered up under the agriculture, food, and natural resources. The FFA, Future Farmers. Anybody in FFA? FFA. What class are you in? This?
FBLA.
FBLA, okay. With FFA, with other teachers, they actually are part of all that cluster with the farming and growing. The food that we eat, okay? Pest controllers, we often forget about pest controllers. Pest controllers, people like Terminex, people that come out and spray for pests, or people that make sure that, you know, restaurants don't have pests. Pest controllers are also up under agriculture, farm, and natural resources, because pest controllers help make sure that there's nothing that prevents the food that we eat, the trees and things that we have that keep from growing healthy. Farm equipment mechanic, people that work on farm equipment, part of this cluster as well, because you have to have the tractors and the tillers and the different things that you need to make your farm, to start your farm, produce your farm. Groundskeeper is another example of a career cluster. How many know what a groundskeeper is?
They take care of the garden and stuff.
Take care of gardens. To make, and again, like I said, gardens, they'll go back to agriculture, farming, resources. What do you have for breakfast this morning?
Donuts. And donuts.
Okay, donuts. So how do we make donuts?
Wheat.
Wheat, which comes from farmer. Even the sugar, the glaze that goes on the donuts comes from the sugar cane, which is a part of the agriculture. So agriculture, food, natural resources pretty much is in everything that we do. We eat it every day. Whatever you eat for lunch, somebody had to grow it. Somebody had to pick it, you know, and process it for us to eat. So all of that is included and entailed in agriculture, food, natural resources. There are 16 career clusters, but for today we're going to focus on the agriculture, food, and natural resource one. We will pick up and do the other 15 next week. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
So how do you get into like the agriculture like cluster? Like what, like it does depend on what you want to be, or
depends on what your future career want to be. A lot of people don't put a lot of emphasis in farming because they think, oh, well, who wants to be a farmer? Farmers is the most important, to me, in my opinion, the most important job you can have, because they feed us, and there's a lot of money in farming. Farmers have a different set of rules and regulations that, like a tractor, you have to have a license to drive a car. To drive a tractor, you don't have to have a license to drive a tractor, because that tractor is considered to be a way that people make their living, for people to eat. Okay, but it all starts in your career choice. But people grow plants. Your mom probably have plants around the house. That's farming. It's not so much farming growing food, but it's farming growing plants. We have like the greenhouse. They have plants out there. You see plants hanging everywhere. It's in farming. It's in growing. It's in agriculture. The water that we drink, it's in agriculture, because again, somebody has to test the water to make sure that it's not anything in it that makes it unhealthy. If so, they'll tell you to start boiling your water, drink bottled water. You've had that before. It's everything that we do. When you wash your hands, it's water. Get up in the morning, water. You know, soda. Everybody drinks soda. Everybody likes Coke, so Dr. Pepper. You have water, filtrated with water right through it. So everything that we do, I think our lives is more based around agriculture, food, and natural resources, probably than any other cluster. You have something? Okay, well, we're going to go into Creative Lab and looking at, go back to slide number 1. Looking at this, they have different various career clusters up there, but we're going to focus on, like I said, just the first one. And we'll pick up with the rest tomorrow. Okay? All right, thank you.